Welcome. Please be seated. Before we begin today's commencement ceremonies, I have one housekeeping and announcement. In order to maintain the dignity of today's ceremony, I would ask all in attendance to please silence your telephones. I can see everyone reaching. I did that earlier. So if we could just silence your phones, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Good morning. That's great. 10 o'clock in the morning. That's absolutely fantastic. Great response. I am Don Latender, the Dean of the College of Pharmacy. It is my distinct pleasure to offer a heartfelt welcome to President Mason, College of Pharmacy faculty and staff, family, friends, guests, and most especially the graduating class of 2013. To each and every one of you, we extend sincere greetings and thanks for your presence here today. Today marks the college's 127th commencement. The graduates seated before me have completed a long and rigorous course of study. Speaking on behalf of the faculty, I can assure you that we are most confident these graduates are extremely well prepared for the challenges of healthcare delivery in the 21st century. This morning, we are gathered here to celebrate their achievements and bid them well on their impending journey. At this time, I'd like to recognize the individuals joining me here on the platform. Seated from my far left, your right, they are, first, Dr. Michael Kelly, Associate Dean for Professional Student Affairs and Professor, who will be introducing today's graduates. Next in order, Professors Jonathan Dorn, Erica Ernst, and Deanna McDaniel. And let me explain. Each year, the College of Pharmacy recognizes outstanding teachers who are selected by the students. The process begins by soliciting nominations and supporting comments from each of the classes. The results are used to select finalists who are asked to supply documentation describing their approach to teaching and their teaching philosophy. It is my pleasure to introduce, once again, Drs. Dorn, Ernst, and McDaniel, our current Teachers of the Year. Drs. Dorn and Ernst will be assisting with the hooding as the graduates cross the stage to receive their degrees, and Dr. McDaniel will assist me in the distribution of diplomas. Melissa Muir-Corrigan, today's commencement speaker, will be more formally introduced later in the program. And at the end, Dr. Sally Mason, a very special person here at the university for many, many reasons. On August 1, 2007, Dr. Mason was appointed the University of Iowa's 20th president. She will be formally conferring the degrees during today's ceremony. During her time here at Iowa, she has accomplished so much, and I feel especially privileged to be part of her administrative team. Of her many accomplishments, it's only fitting to offer special mention that President Mason's steady hand led the university through one of the nation's most devastating natural disasters following the floods of 2008. Ironic that it should be 5 years since that time. She has become a beacon of hope and inspiration during this past few years of economic challenges which severely tested public support for higher education, and she has been an ardent champion of student engagement and leadership development. We are deeply honored by her presence here today. I would like to acknowledge a few other dignitaries who are here in attendance and special guests as well. Dr. Anthony Pudlow. Dr. Pudlow is Vice President of Professional Affairs of the Iowa Pharmacy Association. Anthony, where are you? Could you please stand and be recognized? Anthony Pudlow. For those of you who could attend last evening's senior dinner, Kate Gaynor, Dr. Kate Gaynor, offered words to our graduates. She's the CEO, but could not be with us here today, so Anthony is representing the Iowa Pharmacy Association. We are incredibly blessed as a college to have one of the most special relationships with the State Pharmacy Association of any college in the country. And in fact, most of our peers would say we have the best relationship, and that's a credit to the staff and leadership of IPA. Next, Mr. Tom Temple. Tom is actually the CEO Emeritus of the Iowa Pharmacy Association, and he was last year's recipient of the college's Osterhaus Medal for Lifetime Achievement, our college's pinnacle award. Tom, could you please stand and be recognized? In a little bit, I'll be introducing Melissa Muir-Corrigan. However, at this time, I would like to acknowledge three very special people in her life who are with us here today to witness this ceremony and her presentation. Sergio and Beverly Muir, parents of today's commencement speaker, Melissa. The Muirs hail from Joliet, Illinois. And John Corrigan, Melissa's husband and most ardent supporter, is also here. Could I ask Sergio, Beverly, and John to please stand? Where are you? There they are over there. Graduates, you look fabulous. You really do. I wish you could see what I see right now. I've been asked by the graduates to assure all parents in attendance that your daughters and sons have dressed this way each and every day of class for the past 4 years, and I can attest to that, honestly. All kidding aside, you look most professional. At this time, I'd like to introduce Jordan Schultz. Jordan is the president of the class of 2013. And he said to me before we started here, he says, "I'm a nervous Nelly, Dean." I said, "Jordan, you're going to be fine." Jordan is originally from Orion, Illinois. Jordan has been a truly exceptional leader of his classmates. In addition to serving as president, Jordan has been active in many organizations, including the American Pharmacists Association Academy of Student Pharmacists, American Society of Health System Pharmacists, Phi Lambda Sigma, College of Pharmacy Student Council, Iowa Pharmacy Association. My goodness gracious, Jordan, did you ever have time to study? And has participated in the Bill Burke Leadership Conference and the Hawkeyes for Organ Donation. In addition, he has been employed as a pharmacy intern at Maine at Locust Pharmacy in Davenport, Iowa, completed a summer internship program with Walgreens, and worked as a graduate research assistant in the labs of Dr. Jerry Weiss and Teresa Giannini at the university's Iowa Inflammation Program. Jordan has been a deserving recipient of many academic scholarships and was selected to receive the Operation Diabetes Region 5 Achievement Award. I'm going to digress at this moment. You see, I have it on good authority that this isn't the first time that Jordan has given a commencement speech. In fact, he was valedictorian of both his middle school and high schools in Grigsville Perry School System in Illinois. So I'm asking the audience here, if he starts to invoke comments about his time at Grigsville Perry, we know he's using old material. Seriously, Jordan, we're extremely proud to have you as this year's representative of your class. Jordan will begin a PGY1, PGY2 residency in ambulatory care at the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics this coming July 1. Jordan and his wife Robin, a middle school teacher, will continue to make their home in North Liberty. In my mind, Jordan epitomizes the type of balanced student we are trying to nurture here at the University of Iowa College of Pharmacy. Academically driven, professionally engaged, and exemplary in demeanor. Everyone, please join me in welcoming Dr. Schultz to the podium, where he will provide remarks representing the outstanding class of 2013. Jordan?
Thank you very much, Dean Latender. If If you hear me say Griggsville, Perry, anything, I apologize because they weren't very good, and hopefully third time's a charm. So, I'd like to start out by welcoming our distinguished guests, faculty and staff, family members, and friends. It's truly an honor to be addressing you today on behalf of the University of Iowa College of Pharmacy graduating class of 2013. I believe I speak for all my classmates when I say that we are so grateful to all of you that are here today and so many that couldn't make it. Personally, I know that I had to rely heavily on the support of my family during this very, very long college journey. Whether it was my loving parents coaching me through a particularly stressful time, or my incredibly patient wife being so understanding on those nights where I had to stay at the library till 3 a.m. studying. All of you here today have made sacrifices for one of these graduates, and for that, we sincerely thank you. We'd also like to extend our deepest appreciation to the staff, faculty, professors, alumni, and all the other members of the College of Pharmacy's academic community that have helped guide us to this moment. As I'll discuss more in just a bit, none of us would be here today if it weren't for you and the glowing examples of professionalism that you set for all of us. Lastly, I need to extend a personal thank you to the other class officers, Natalie, Sean, and Caitlin. All of them have been unbelievably helpful over the past few years, and I cannot stress enough how much I appreciate your help and dedication to the class. As I was preparing to write this speech, I started off by doing what any good student would do. I turned to Google for help. Unfortunately, all that did was help me realize that there was very little that I could say or do today that would truly be original. I mean, let's be honest, we all know that these speeches are basically the same in some way, shape, or form. And that's when I realized that all of the graduates here today, including myself, are followers. I mean, let's face it, nobody gets to graduate from pharmacy school without following the rules for a large portion of their lives. I'm sure that most of my classmates were like me. We were a little bit nerdier in junior high and high school, and our teachers classified us as the good kids because we worked hard, we did what we were told, we followed. Our hard work led to acceptances at great colleges where we excelled and set our sights on getting into pharmacy school. We continued down that straight and narrow path of studying hard, staying focused, and following most of the rules until that fateful day when we received an email from Dean Kelly informing us that we were going to be a part of the UI College of Pharmacy. At the start of P1 year, we knew that it was really time to buckle down, work hard, focus on our studying, and make sure that we didn't rock the boat too much. However, as we started to work our way through pharmacy school, we realized that maybe being a pharmacist wasn't all about following the rules and being kind of nerdy. In fact, we were always hearing about how Iowa is one of the most innovative and forward-thinking states in the nation when it comes to pharmacy practice. More shocking than that, we began to learn that our professors, mentors, and preceptors are consistently at the forefront of all of this change and innovation. The people who are making a huge difference in our profession on a state and national level were the same unassuming pharmacists that we learned from and interacted with every single day. I guess I was a little bit surprised, at least, to hear that Iowa was the breeding ground for the rebels of the pharmacy profession. These people have worked hard to ensure that when we walk across that stage, we have all acquired the basic skills necessary to be competent pharmacists. But what if all those pharmacists that helped make this college and this state as great as they are today had settled for being nothing more than competent? What will our College of Pharmacy be known for when we're done with things? Eric Hofer was quoted as saying, "In a world of change, the learners shall inherit the earth, while the learned shall find themselves perfectly suited for a world that no longer exists." Make no mistake about it, our profession is evolving at a breakneck speed. 25 years ago, no one could have imagined that pharmacists would be prescribing medications or giving immunizations. Imagine what our profession could evolve into over the next 25 years. But are you going to settle for simply being learned and continue to be a follower? Or will you dedicate yourself to being a learner and be a catalyst for change that defines the next generation of our profession the way that so many from our great college did before us? All of the forward thinkers that I'm describing today came to the same crossroads that all of us are at right now. Like us, they were followers at one point, and they had learned the basic tools of their trade. But they decided to take the road less traveled, to become lifelong learners, to make their profession better for the next generation of Hawkeyes, and to challenge the status quo when they believed that it was the right thing to do. Creativity and leadership are ingrained in their DNA. Their genetic code does not allow them to be satisfied with being complacent. They love change, and they will do anything in their power to perpetuate this profession as well as this great College of Pharmacy. So I ask all of you again, are you brave enough to break away from the life of following that we have all been leading for so long? Are you brave enough to reject complacency and refuse to allow our profession to become stagnant? Are you up to the challenge of taking on the responsibility that goes along with calling yourself a graduate of the University of Iowa College of Pharmacy? I know that this sounds like a daunting task, but all of the men and women that have come before us are entrusting us with the legacy that they helped create. More importantly, those same unassuming and seemingly nerdy pharmacists that have been teaching us have done more than just provide us with basic competencies. That DNA that I discussed earlier, which propels them with an innate drive to be leaders and innovators, isn't something that they acquired out of luck. It was passed on to them by their teachers and their mentors, and as graduates of the University of Iowa College of Pharmacy, it has been passed on to us as well. It is undoubtedly the single greatest asset that we have acquired over the past 40 years. So when you're presented with a challenge in your future career and you're not quite sure if you're up to it, remember that as part of the College of Pharmacy family, your genetic code won't allow you to back down from the challenge. I'd like to leave you today with a quote from former Apple CEO Steve Jobs. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs and the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as crazy ones, we see genius, because the people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. It's been an honor serving as your president. Thank you all so much, and good luck to all of you.
Not bad, Jordan, not bad. You really threw down the gauntlet there, and you represented your class so well. So thank you very much for those inspiring words. You did a terrific job. And I know that Griggsville Perry is proud, I'm telling you. I can tell you that right now. You know, one of the things, I see folks getting up and they're taking the little ones away, and one of the things I like to mention, and I failed to do it right up front this year, is we consider ourselves a family. And you don't worry about those little ones. You keep them right here, because they're part of our family. And in fact, when I see little ones as a dean, I see future students. We have applications in the back. And you know, last year I said that, and as God is my judge, this was not set up, but about midway over here in this section, a little 2-year-old who was the child of one of our graduates of last year actually bolted out of her dad's hands and ran right down the aisle here. And I picked her up, and what she whispered in my ear was she wanted early admission now, actually. So anyway, you keep those little ones right here, and you don't worry about a thing, please. At this moment, I'd like to acknowledge 3 very special people in Jordan's life. Jordan's father, David, is a minister, and his mother, Candace, are with us here today, and his wife, Robin, who I had mentioned earlier, is also here. May I ask the 3 of them to stand so we could recognize you, please? Where are you? Here you are, right here. Now on to our commencement address. Melissa Muir-Corrigan, who I've known personally since she became a resident following graduation from Drake's College of Pharmacy, is currently the interim head of workforce development for ACT right here in Iowa City, and has been such since December 2012. She joined ACT in January of 2012 as vice president, development, and then took on some additional duties and responsibilities. For the uninitiated, ACT is an independent, not-for-profit organization that creates solutions to help people achieve education and workplace success. Prior to joining ACT, Melissa Corrigan served as the founding executive director and CEO of the Pharmacy Technician Certification Board, the largest NCCA accredited national certification program for pharmacy technicians in the world. And she did that in 1995, started that. That was her baby. And let me just step aside from the text here and just tell you that almost 500,000 pharmacy technicians are now certified in the United States of America. And that was in no small measure due to the leadership that Melissa provided, let me tell you. Good job, Melissa. She has directed the overall conduct of the pharmacy technician program, as I mentioned. While at PTCB, she created strategic alliances with major pharmacy employers such as Walgreens, CVS, Target, along with many, many other chains across the land. Prior to PTCB, she was a marketing research associate with the American Red Cross. From 91 to 93, Melissa served as a project manager for the Scope of Pharmacy Practice Project, a task analysis of pharmacists and pharmacy technicians. Muir completed the American Pharmaceutical Association's National Council of State Pharmacy Association Executives Residency Program in Association Management. And as a part of her residency, Melissa worked for 3 months with the Missouri Pharmacy Association. Melissa has practiced as a community pharmacist for Walgreens in Chicago, Illinois, before pursuing her residency training. She is a graduate of Drake, as I mentioned, and she has served on the Drake University Pharmacy National Advisory Board. Muir was selected as one of 6 pharmacists nationwide in the Making a Difference in Health System Pharmacy. A recognized leader in credentialing and healthcare certification, Melissa has received the National Organization for Competency Assurance's Certification Industry Leadership Award in 2008. She served as the 2011 president for the Institute for Credentialing Excellence and also served on the board of directors. She was president of the board of directors for the Council on Credentialing in Pharmacy. In 2012, Melissa received the Henry Cade Memorial Award from the National Association of Boards of Pharmacy. And she's also the recipient of Drake College of Pharmacy's highly prestigious Weaver Medal, that college's pinnacle award. Would you please join me in offering a warm welcome to Melissa Muir Corrigan.
Good morning, President Mason, Dean Latender, faculty and staff, family members and guests, and especially the outstanding class of 2013. What an honor for me to be here today. Krista McCullough, the first teacher in space, said, "To touch the future, I teach." I've always found that quote so inspiring. I find that teaching takes place in many forms, whether it's serving as a preceptor, spending time with residents, or being with all of you here today. Touching the future is so, so rewarding. Pharmacy is a unique profession. What starts with a white coat ceremony results in graduation after years of hard work and sacrifice, and we've heard about that already from Jordan and others. I can tell you from personal experience that a career in pharmacy can be a true journey, and whatever course you take, you decide to chart, you will need to keep in mind that your family, your friends, and the special people in your life will be on the journey with you. I'd like to share with all you the story about my journey in pharmacy, but first would like to set the stage about the world that we're in today. During the first 60 seconds of my commencement remarks today, more than 1 million people posted an update, a photo, or remarks on Facebook. Yes, just in the last minute. And about 100,000 tweets have gone out. And some of these tweets are relevant to what you've been learning about in school, health policy, pharmacists, etc. About 25 hours of video have been uploaded to YouTube. And I can tell you, not all that video is about crazy cats or cats doing tricks. There likely will be some important health safety content created as we gather here today. So the message here is that the world that we live in is rapidly changing. The pace of change in today's world, and today's workplace, and today's workforce is accelerating. And the centuries-old profession that we're so proud to be a part of is not immune from the phenomenon of rapid change. So, in preparation for today's remarks, as everyone's described, it's a bit daunting, I thought about my own journey. Before I finished studies at Drake University, the Dean of the College of Pharmacy, Ron Kaluza, asked me to set up a meeting to talk about my future. So when we sat in the meeting, he said, "What would I do in pharmacy?" Good question. I replied with what I thought was the perfect answer. I described my future practice setting and where I planned to work. And then Dean Kaluza repeated the question, "What are you going to do in pharmacy?" And then I had a bit of an aha moment. There could be something even bigger. Our conversation changed my life. Pharmacists spend their whole times helping patients. We study hard, we've heard about that. We help patients make the best use of medications. And now we find ourselves in a world where STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math are of great focus and importance. But I think it's important to note that pharmacists have been STEM long before STEM was cool. And I'm very proud of all of your decisions to prepare for and pursue STEM-related careers. Because really, what STEM is all about is jobs. So back to the question posed to me, what are you going to do in pharmacy? Well, I graduated and worked for Walgreens for a year, and then I decided to take a risk. I applied for and was offered the position of executive resident in association management with the American Pharmaceutical Association in Washington, D.C. It was a big move. I was moving from the Midwest, not so popular with my parents at the time. It was a risk. My move to Washington to work at APHA was completely life-altering. In 1994, I was offered the role of executive director for a brand new organization that was just forming, the Pharmacy Technician Certification Board. Today, PTCB offers the profession's leading credential for pharmacy technicians, and now there are almost 500,000 certified pharmacy technicians nationwide. But back in the 90s, things were very, very different. When we talk about pharmacy technicians, for many of you, this is a familiar topic. You may have worked as a pharmacy technician during school or been exposed to pharmacy technicians during your experiential education. Pharmacy technicians assist the pharmacists in dispensing medications and are accountable to the supervising pharmacist who is legally responsible through state licensure. But back in 94 to 95, when PTCB established, it's important to note that there were no recognized standards for technicians nationally. Let me repeat, there was no national competency-based standards for technicians. There was not a national exam, and you may or may not realize this, but there was much political opposition. In fact, some pharmacists were very upset and thought that pharmacy technicians would take their jobs. The formation of PTCB was a very hotly debated topic. PTCB was formally established in 1995, and for those of you in the audience doing the math, I was 28. I think it's important to note that I was in a new leadership role as a woman, and now that I look back, a very young woman. Well, what are some of the lessons learned from starting, growing, and leading PTCB? Leadership and vision are key and not to be underestimated. Working together and collaboration are essential, and you've heard a lot about that today. You have so many models of that in Iowa. I did not build PTCB into a leading national organization by myself. Many mentors, colleagues, and partners are involved, and some of those are here with me today. From 1995 to 2011, I was the only woman to serve on the PTCB Board of Governors in my role as Executive Director and CEO. As a leader, I was focused on delivering results, doing my job, and doing it well. During my tenure at PTCB, some really interesting developments happened in both education and pharmacy. When I was in school in the 80s, about 50% of college graduates were women. By the 2011 to 2012 academic year, 61% of professional degrees in pharmacy were awarded to women, and I think we see that today. There are now more women than men graduating with pharmacy degrees. The percentage of licensed female pharmacists continues to increase markedly. However, women are still underrepresented in pharmacy leadership, which is true in corporate America as well. While I value the contributions of my many male pharmacy colleagues, I do believe that it is time for women to have a greater role. Whether leadership in academia, chain pharmacy management, or health system pharmacy, there are opportunities for leadership, and hopefully more leaders will be women. The great news here, though, is that pharmacy provides a solid career. Whether you are female or male, a solid foundation for your career. My career in pharmacy focused on standards, credentialing, serving the profession with an emphasis on pharmacy technicians and patient safety. Now I find my career growing beyond pharmacy. There's not a pharmacy at ACT, in case you were wondering. My pharmacy education, experience, and leadership experience is serving me well as I work at ACT to address national workforce issues across America. But what I will say is that competency really is the new currency for today's pharmacy graduates. So today, you're celebrating a milestone, but you're also going to need to stay current with technology, diagnosis, and related therapies. Your path will likely include pharmacist licensure, and for many of you, perhaps a residency program. The future for many of you will include specialization and additional education, training, or credentialing in fields beyond pharmacy. Whether you are a first-generation graduate or a multi-generation pharmacist, the commitment in pharmacy to continued learning and continually increasing competencies is truly commendable. Sheryl Sandberg, the Chief Operating Officer at Facebook, recently published a book titled Lean In that's brought much attention. And in closing my remarks today, I'm so proud to let you know that I leaned in. I worked hard, pushed myself, and sometimes pushed hard on others. I sat at the table. I put myself in the position to become the founding executive and leader of the Pharmacy Technician Certification Board. When I made that commitment to work hard and deliver, I leaned in. I initiated change in our profession by credentialing pharmacy technicians. I sat at the table with board members representing national pharmacy leadership, and it directly affected the lives of nearly 500,000 pharmacy technicians and the millions of patients served within those pharmacies that have benefited from better health safety standards made possible by the Pharmacy Technician Certification Exam created and delivered by PTCB. I also followed a core tenet of Sheryl Sandberg's lean-in approach. I subscribe to the belief that the single most important career decision to be made is choosing a life partner fully supportive of your career. My husband, John, also my favorite native Iowan, what I love most about Iowa, has been so supportive of all my accomplishments and my commitment to lean in. I changed the world of pharmacy as we know it today. I leaned in. You can too. It does not matter if you are a woman or a man. These are all issues that are universal for all of us. The College of Pharmacy at the University of Iowa bears a legacy of playing a leadership role in the national pharmacy dialogue. Iowa graduate Janelle Sabaka served as APHA president. She leaned in. Multiple generations of the Osterhaus family from Iowa, Bob O., Matt O., Marilyn Osterhaus, Jane Osterhaus, they leaned in. Dean Latender is working on the future of Iowa's pharmacy school. He's leaning in. Iowa graduate Susan Winkler recently served at the Food and Drug Administration. She leaned in. I have one last question in closing. What are you going to do in pharmacy? That is a question you will all have to answer yourselves. I encourage you to work hard, take risks, and sit at the table. Have the courage to lean in and then see what happens. Congratulations to the outstanding class of 2013, and thank you.
All I have to say, Melissa, is thank you for leaning in. Did a great job. Join me again in thanking her for her words of wisdom. Thank you. Before I ask President Mason to come to the podium for the conferring of degrees, I'd like to take a moment for a special acknowledgement. There are members of our graduating class who have loved ones who are serving overseas protecting our country. They want to be here today, but instead are protecting our freedom. Freedoms that we come to enjoy in fellowship ceremonies such as this one. What I'd like to do, please, is by virtue of their representation, I would like to try to take a moment and acknowledge members, the loved ones of their families who are serving overseas. So may I ask those graduates who have immediate family who are serving overseas right now and would like to be here but otherwise can't because of their duty, could you please stand so that through you we can recognize them? Could you please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, let's honor their loved ones. At this time, I'd like to ask President Mason to please approach the podium, where she will then, hold on just one second here. I inserted that thing about the military, and now I screwed myself up over here.
I'm going to give a speech, Don.
Thank you, thank you. I got to that right now, President Mason. President Mason, you're on.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome to the graduates, to my faculty and staff colleagues, to family and friends, and to honored guests. It truly is a pleasure to be here this morning, and your dean is right. You do look fabulous. It really is amazing to see. I have a double-edged task this morning. Bidding you farewell from the University of Iowa is one of my greatest honors, and it's also one of my most difficult tasks. You've been central to the excellence of this university and to creating the cutting edge of discovery that marks our distinction. That's why we are so proud to send you out into the world, and that's why we're also very sad to see you go. Healthcare and health sciences are central to the University of Iowa's identity, to the intellectual contributions that we make to the world, and to the applied service that we provide to our state and our nation's citizens. Pharmacy at Iowa has a distinguished tradition and reputation. We are among the top 20 pharmacy programs in the country today, and we are the 4th oldest public pharmacy school. For over 125 years, the College of Pharmacy has nurtured and grown the remarkable seeds of knowledge and practice that are flourishing within you today as you graduate. We are proud, very proud of your accomplishments, and we are proud to send you off to continue growing as pharmacy professionals in your new communities and as part of the great Iowa pharmacy legacy. While many of you will be going off to practice out of state, I'm especially proud of the major impact that our College of Pharmacy has on the health and welfare of the people of Iowa. When I speak with alumni and friends, state legislators, and community service clubs, I very often share with them some remarkable statistics about this College of Pharmacy. Half of all practicing pharmacists in Iowa are graduates of this College of Pharmacy. Iowa pharmacy alumni practice in 94 of Iowa's 99 counties. And over 600 practitioners in Iowa instruct and mentor University of Iowa pharmacy students. Those are actually some pretty amazing numbers that indicate the impact that we have on our state. But we all know that pharmacy is about more than numbers, and your work in the communities in which you will live, whether it's in Iowa or not, will be about care, compassion, and neighborliness. The profession of pharmacy has come a long way since the days of the corner druggist. No matter what your professional pursuits in the field may be, you'll be dealing with medications, products, technology, healthcare systems, and even economic and financial issues that were unheard of not that many years ago, and perhaps as recently as when you started pharmacy school. But knowing the College of Pharmacy as I do, I'm confident that you will still bring the essential qualities of that long-ago corner druggist to your work. Not just professional competence, which I know you all have, but a sense of humanity to the healthcare needs of the people that you'll serve. So once again, congratulations, good luck, and best wishes for great success in the wonderful years ahead of you. And please know that I speak for all of your friends and your family who are here today when I say we are very, very proud of you. Congratulations. Go Hawkeyes.
Thank you, President Mason. President Mason, these candidates have completed all the requirements for the degree Doctor of Pharmacy, and are recommended to you by the faculty of the College of Pharmacy for the conferring of these degrees.
Thank you. On recommendation of the faculty of the College of Pharmacy and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, I confer on each of you the degree Doctor of Pharmacy as qualified and designated. Congratulations, you did it.
Wow. Thank you, President Mason. At this time, I would like to ask Dean Kelly to approach the podium, and at this point, we'll begin the hooding and the actual conferring of the diplomas. Dean Kelly?
It is now my great honor and pleasure to introduce to you the members of the class of 2013. Today, each student will be receiving a hood. This is a symbol of doctoral education. As the faculty marched in, you probably noticed that the hoods, the trailing hoods, are of many colors. The length and the shape of the hood indicate the degree that is granted. The lining displays the official colors of the university awarding the degree, and the velvet trim indicates the field of study. The hood the students will receive today has an olive lining that indicates the clinical doctorate of pharmacy. Stars on the gown indicate the levels of academic achievement. These are noted in the program. The cords being worn by some students indicate selected achievements. The purple and white cords are for high academic achievement and membership in the Rho Chi Honor Society. The green and gold cords indicate high achievement in leadership and membership in the Phi Lambda Sigma fraternity. Several of the graduates will receive their hoods from immediate family members that are alumni of the College of Pharmacy. I will now ask the graduates to begin to line up behind me one row at a time, and I will introduce the graduates to you. There is a professional photographer that will take photographs of each graduate. There is a professional photographer. If you would like, please feel free to come forward to the front and take pictures of your own. Doctors Jonathan Dorn and Erica Ernst will be hooding our graduates, and Dr. Deanna McDaniel will be assisting Dean Latondra with the diplomas. Dr. Jordan Schultz, Orion, Illinois. Dr. Anthony Thomas Kenneth Berger, Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Dr. Matthew Kenneth Bauer, St. Charles, Illinois. Dr. Ryan Christopher Clark. His father, Craig Clark, class of 1978, will be hooding Dr. Clark. Dr. David Paul Hutlin, Orland Park, Illinois. Dr. John Corrigan, Park Ridge, Illinois. Dr. John Relf, Cedar Falls, Iowa. Dr. Ryan Thurm, Denver, Iowa. Dr. Kyle Anderson, Dubuque, Iowa. Dr. Tony Wynn, Henderson, Nevada. Dr. Amy Nicholson, Marengo, Iowa. Dr. Jamie Kimmel, Eldridge, Iowa. Dr. Rachel Smith, Charles City, Iowa. Dr. Katie Krogert, Geneseo, Illinois. Dr. Deborah Jane Rutho, Ironwood, Michigan. Dr. Samantha Dow, Marble Rock, Iowa. Dr. Jenny Elwood, Waukon, Iowa. Dr. Bobby Joe Kessler, Walcott, Iowa. Dr. Jennifer Anderson, Granger, Indiana. Dr. Amanda Mather, Shenandoah, Iowa. Dr. Allison Rear, Clarion, Iowa. Dr. Kara Richardson, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Dr. Melanie Smith, Independence, Iowa. Dr. Annie Springsteen, Wapello, Iowa. Dr. Andrew Fiorella, Chicago, Illinois. Dr. Danielle Gradele, Nice, France. Dr. Abby Gert, Mason City, Iowa. Dr. Jessica Ritchie, Burlington, Iowa. Dr. Janelle Vitito, Washington, Iowa. Dr. Adam Wilcox, Waverly, Iowa. Dr. Sean Kubik, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Dr. Kay Lapsowicz, Downers Grove, Illinois. Dr. Daniel Priest, Waterloo, Iowa. Dr. Jennifer Parker, Ottumwa, Iowa. Dr. Samantha Reiser, Waukon, Iowa. Dr. Mackenzie Dearborn, Waterloo, Iowa. Dr. Carrie Anderson, Glen Ellen, Illinois. Dr. Jacob Schell, Spirit Lake, Iowa. Dr. Nicole Cox, Omaha, Nebraska. Dr. Elaine Wing, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Dr. Caitlin Deber, Denison, Iowa. Dr. Anna Shijenka, Sheldon, Iowa. Dr. Alicia Lynn, Newmarket, Iowa. Dr. Laura Halder, Cherokee, Iowa. Dr. Michelle Gleason, Edgewood, Iowa. Dr. Stephanie Behrens, Waterloo, Iowa. Dr. Caitlin Rankin, Maynard, Iowa. Dr. Natalie Simmons, Galva, Illinois. Dr. Elizabeth Keltner Warnken, Ankeny, Iowa. Dr. Jacqueline Lee. I believe at least some of that group was from Paxton, Illinois. Dr. Andrea Bennett, North Liberty, Iowa. Her sister-in-law, Jill Strayer Bennett, class of 2002, did the honors of Hoodinger. Dr. Carrie Schuler, Westfield, Wisconsin. Dr. Amanda Smith, Clarence, Iowa. Dr. Da-Lin Wu, Iowa City. Dr. Prit Patel, Coralville, Iowa. Dr. Hussein Abdul Razik, Bridgeview, Illinois. Dr. Jason Jared, LeClaire, Iowa. Dr. Andrew Deseo, Prospect Heights, Illinois. Dr. Sam Homus, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Dr. Brett Heyman, Davenport, Iowa. Dr. Daniel Blonsky, Wausau, Wisconsin. Dr. Michael Dunn, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Dr. Jonathan Paul Smith, Hamilton, Illinois. Dr. Zach Wittenberg, Springville, Iowa. Dr. John Mora, Santa Rosa, California. Dr. Andrea Wacker, Cedar Rapids. Dr. Sarah Dempsey, Davenport, Iowa. Dr. Jennifer Cardenas, Sacramento, California. Dr. Courtney Thomas, Clear Lake, Iowa. Dr. Megan Reese, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Dr. Jessica Lynn Kohlert, Franklin, Wisconsin. Dr. Jill Zimmerman, Swisher, Iowa. Dr. Kazuhiko Kido, Tokyo, Japan. Dr. Deng War, from Des Moines. Dr. Brian Glenn, Osceola, Iowa. Dr. Sunny Bunyalat, Des Moines, Iowa. Dr. Paula June, Davenport, Iowa. Dr. Na-Young Kwon, Seoul, Korea. Dr. Yu-Jun Raun, Guangzhou, China. Dr. Sawsin Ikram, Cedar Falls, Iowa. Dr. Monica Verma, Mason City, Iowa. Dr. Tracy Wiley, Iowa City. Dr. Nakila Reddy Venumula, originally from India. Dr. Marwa Ithman, Columbia, Missouri. Dr. Rachel Finkelstein, Iowa City. Dr. Thomas Zlatovic, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Dr. Joseph James Campanelli, Iowa City. Dr. Tarek Smith, Charlotte, North Carolina. Dr. Victoria Okon. From Washington, D.C. via Nigeria, Dr. Melita Campbell, Iowa City, Iowa. Dr. Sarah Naughton, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Dr. Megan Erickson, Mundelein, Illinois. Okay, I gotta make sure I got everybody. Dr. Sharon Griffiths. She will be hooded by Patty Griffiths and Robert Griffiths. Patty is her mother and Robert is her grandfather. They will be doing the honor of hooding her. Thank you. Dr. Ashley Krall, North Liberty, Iowa. Dr. Alex Brosnahan, Perry, Iowa. Dr. Emily Klatt, Charles City, Iowa. Dr. Jacqueline Lansing, Sumner, Iowa. Dr. Sarah Minner, Boone, Iowa. Dr. Catherine Portajak, Farmington, Minnesota. Dr. Michael Vogt, Dubuque, Iowa. Dr. Jennifer Mavison, Chanhassen, Minnesota. Dr. Justin Graff, Arlington Heights, Illinois. Dr. Jennifer Preinitz, Mount Prospect, Illinois. Dr. Rebecca Poshek, Tomahawk, Wisconsin. Dr. Carrie Gray, West Allis, Wisconsin. Dr. Daniel Kraft, Springfield, Illinois. Dr. Andrew Spurgeon, Estherville, Iowa. Dr. Chris Barnett, Downers Grove, Illinois. Dr. Kayla Scott. Her father, Stephen Scott, class of 1993, will be the honor of her hood here. Dr. Justin Carr, Bolingbrook, Illinois.
Yeah, baby!
I think we should honor them one more time with a round of applause.
Wow. Congratulations to all of you. Family members, how about one more time? Hi for the class of 2013. See, we got another one over here who wants early admission. I can see it right now. Today is a very special day. It marks the culmination of years of effort on the part of many, and it represents the beginning of a new journey into healthcare in which each of these graduates will undoubtedly leave a profound mark upon whom all they serve. We are fortunate to have special assistance here with our sign keeper, Kelly Neppel. Where is Kelly? I guess she's not here right now, but let's acknowledge Kelly for the work that she did there, huh? To the faculty, I'd like to take this moment to recognize a very special group of individuals. For the past 4 years, the group of men and women seated to my far left have given much to enrich the lives of our graduates, intellectually, emotionally, professionally, and I must add, depending upon the subject matter and your level of preparation at exam time, spiritually. Frankly, for a secular institution, I've witnessed a whole lot of praying at times. We are indeed blessed to have a truly outstanding faculty and staff. Through their research, they are in constant quest of the next critical step in finding new drugs or better ways to deliver health care. And through their scholarship of teaching, they are always striving to impart knowledge, stimulate critical thinking, and hone students' problem-solving abilities. In short, theirs is clearly a labor of love. Faculty, I ask you, would you please stand, all of you? Please join me in please stand. Please join me in recognizing these fine men and women for all they have done for our graduates. I believe that the events of the past 2 days have been simply outstanding and have gone on without a hitch because of our staff. All of you do so much behind the scenes in helping to bring a healthy measure of panache that ultimately makes our college so special and the envy of others. All of the planning and attention are evident in so many ways, most especially in the quality of functions like these. I'd like to ask the staff, more than likely they're in the back, but I'd like the staff to please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me in recognizing our staff? Thank you. And to our special guests here today, I'd especially like to thank the parents, grandparents, spouses, other family members, and friends of our graduates. Your personal, moral, and of course, financial support has been critical for these graduates who have achieved this important milestone in their lives today. I'd like to ask, please, at this moment, could the parents, the grandparents, and the spouses of our graduates, could you please stand for a moment? Graduates, in an open expression of gratitude, please join me in appropriately thanking your family members. Thank you. You know I get the last word. And guess what the last word is? Professionalism. Comes as a big surprise, doesn't it? What you choose to profess and how you exercise all of the privileges that will be bestowed upon you will be decided in the coming days. Pharmacist. Just saying the word connotes much in today's society. Responsibility, respect, integrity, innovation, trust, and healing are just a few of the things that quickly come to my mind. Henceforth, you'll be called pharmacist for several reasons. First, you've earned the distinction. And that title carries with you many years of hard work. But bear in mind that this is a beginning point, not an end point. You will always be required to continue to learn and hone your skills, for a true healthcare provider's time as a student never ends. Second, you're about to enter into a very special covenant with the public. That covenant will willingly place lives in your hands, and in return, you'll be obligated to draw upon all of your special knowledge and skills to help ensure the health and safety of those for whom you've been entrusted to serve. In that regard, I draw upon the words of Michelangelo, who once said, "The greatest danger for most of us lies not in setting our aim too high and falling short, but in setting our aim too low and achieving our mark." I urge you always to aim high. Those we serve always deserve our very best. And third and last, you will become a member of a very select community. This community, called the profession of pharmacy, is one built upon trust, discipline, communication, collaboration, caring, and a firm commitment to health promotion and disease prevention. Our profession demands these things. Our patients have come to expect nothing less. For these reasons and so many more, you will have the unique privilege of forever bearing the title pharmacist. I feel especially proud and privileged to be among the first to call you a pharmacist, because I know in my heart that each of you is so deserving of this recognition. Congratulations to all of you. I'm going to miss you. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the 127th commencement of the University of Iowa College of Pharmacy. I ask, please, that all attendees remain seated during the recessional. Once all of the graduates have exited, I invite everyone to please join us in the foyer for some light refreshments. Thank you all, and go Hawks!